Why 15,000 gold is too much to... Look at this, guys. Look at this. 25,000 gold for some basic lands? Like, that's too much, right? That's way too much. That's ridiculous. I do want this mountain that could have also been a blood moon. I do want that. 25,000. Oh, wow. If you want to buy Warhammer 40k sleeves, you have to just pay them. There's no amount of gems you can give. That's so stupid. Oh, my God. I hate Arena. I hate this game so much, dude. And it's not because of, like, how, you know, the play experience or anything. It's because of, like, this. This. If you want these Warhammer 40k sleeves, there is no way to get them other than paying for them. That's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. And 25,000 gems or coins for some lands, like Wizards of the Coast, like has just lost their minds. Like we should have never given them money. Like we should have never given them money, dude. If 5,000 gems is like $40 for some lands, dude. For some lands, like you get like the real secret lair basic lands thing for like $30, or you could buy digital lands for $40. Like, God, dude, that's Wizards is just like, I get that some products aren't for everybody, but damn, they're gonna mess around and find out that like you can't just make a product where you know every single thing that you do with the product people say like, oh, it's not for you then, it's just for whales. You know, whales get a product every now and again. It's fine. It's cool. It's totally cool. But like, geez, $250 proxy packs and $25,000, you know, basic land alts. It's like, what? Jeez, man. It gets that's tiresome, dude. Yeah, people would stop. They'd have to come down. That's the thing is, I guess enough people pay for it. That's the thing is, there's always going to be whales, dude. Like that 30th anniversary edition. It's going to sell out day one, no matter what. Like, literally, we could all, like, advocate. We could take to the streets with signs, and there's stuff in the world we should be doing that with. That's not Magic the Gathering. That's way more important than Magic the Gathering. So, like, please don't take to the streets with signs. But, like, theoretically, we could take to the streets and be like, $1,000 is not, and it's too much. No one's going to buy it. And then, like, try to generate as much public sentiment as we possibly can towards not buying this product. Literally, the professor could make a 500,000 view video about not buying this product, and there would still be enough people buying the product where it would sell out. I guarantee you, this is that kind of product, you know. So I don't even know if that works, you know. Like, if people stop paying it, there's always going to be somebody that pays that much, dude. Whether it's because they have the money in their whale or like FOMO, you know, fear of missing out. People buy stuff for that all the time. I think that sometimes, you know, it gets really easy to just excuse literally everything that a business does with like, well, they're a business and there's whales and you got to make products for the whales. And if people pay, you know how much a product is worth? Exactly how much someone will pay for it. And they heard their dad say that, and their dad heard their dad say that. So they just think that it makes perfect sense economically, and it doesn't actually. A product isn't as worth as much as someone will pay for it. A product is worth somewhere in the middle of what people will pay for it, because then more people will pay for it. You see how economics actually works? A product is not worth the outer limits of what people will pay for it, especially when there's plenty of that product to go around. And I know this is a limited print run, but that doesn't excuse the fact that it's $1,000 freaking dollars. The median price is not usually the median, but still, somewhere in the middle lays that price that a lot of people will pay, and not just a small amount of the richest people. So the perfect price is not the highest price. Just throw that out there. I've just heard that so many times over the last 2 weeks since 30th anniversary. Is smug like econ bros like, excuse me, but a product is worth exactly as much as people will pay for it. And it's like, have you gotten to econ 2 yet? Because I don't know if you're in your first semester, kid, because you think you're smart. But yeah, especially for digital goods, man, they never run out. There's an endless, literally infinite supply of them. So why is there a 25,000 gold land pack? It's basic lands. What are you doing? I'm sure someone will pay that for them. Yes, I'm sure someone will. Literally 5 people. Yeah, if you want the 40k sleeves, buy them. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is. It's kind of, honestly, like, I know people Especially those same econ bros. I hate when you throw this word around, but it is kind of predatory, to be honest. Okay, let me put it this way. Brothers War. Brothers War is coming out in like a month, something like that. Yeah, like right at a month. Brothers War is coming out. So if you have 25,000 coins, would you rather spend that on the land cosmetics, or would you rather buy 25 packs? I think that's what's bothering me about it, is because like I can have some lands to play with, and I already have basic lands to play with. I already have literally 100 different basic lands I can choose from on MTG Arena. Zero functionality whatsoever, just pretty. They're just pretty. Or I can buy 25 packs of the new set when it comes out. Are some lands really worth 25 rares? And like 4 wild cards at least? 4, think about that, dude. That I didn't even think about that to begin with. I'm sorry to freak out. But like 25 grand, dude. So I'm buying 25 packs. I'm buying 25 packs with this much. So that is, every 6th one you get a wild card. So that's 4 wild cards. Like that's. I thought 4.5 wild cards was supposed to cost like $50. You know, I thought that was the math. Yeah, man, packs, dude. I get that some people, and this is where you have to worry about like Wizards exploiting things like FOMO, is that like some people are going to be like, oh, dude, I have to have these. I have to have these. Because other people are going to have them, they're going to play them against me, and I'm going to be like, oh, I wish I had that. And every time I see them, I'm going to wish that I had it. I wish that I had these so bad, dude. They're so cool. I wish I had them. And like, that's the thing about Magic, is like, there are 2 kinds of Magic players. There are a million kinds of Magic players. But there are Magic players that like to like crack packs, play limited, build decks, build their collection, play Magic. You know what I mean? And like, you know, you have to crack packs to do that. And then there are Magic players that just like to have the best stuff. Like, I'm going to have the blinged out version of this card. I'm going to have like the classiest version of every card. Every cosmetic I'm going to get, because it's like getting promos in real life. And I want them Judge foils, dog. I want them Judge promos. I want them F&M promos. I can't just have no like Savannah Lions from 4th edition. I want the Judge. I want the F&M promo foil Savannah Lions. There are people like that. And MTG Arena does everything it can to exploit both of those kinds of Magic players and just milk them, dude. Like, if you turn on Arena, you might as well just like hook up those like suction things to your udders and just let them start milking you away while you play Magic. It's just so it's designed to like make you spend as much money as possible. Free to play. It's like a mobile game, dude. It's just it is a mobile game. It literally is a mobile game. But it doesn't have to be. Swear, dude. You ever been playing a mobile game and you throw it to an ad, or you have to see an ad, and it's like the corniest ad for a mobile game you've ever seen in your life. These actors got paid $20 in a sandwich to do this. There's 2 of them in the thing. There's very crappy dialogue. It's like the absolute, they're just in like a white room somewhere because they couldn't afford anywhere to actually record a commercial. It's been recorded on someone's iPhone, but the whole time they're using like all of these tricks to get you to try to play the game. Like, download now and get 1,700 free gems. And like, Wizards has basically structured their game like that, but like wearing a tuxedo. Wizards is just that. They're just that kind of mobile game. They're just like a crappy free-to-play, pump you for all of your money. Like, have you opened your wallet lately? Check in there. Can I run your money? Can you run your money? Run your money, dog. Like, they just, I swear to God. It's just dressed up. It's in a ball gown. It's the same thing. They might as well have those things hooked up in your house that you use at the bank, where you put your money in them, and then, you know, you press send, and the little tube shoots the container back to the bank teller. Wizards just ought to install all of those in our house so we can just send them money all the time. That's what they want, you know? It's just, God, as you said, you're making money hand over fist, dude. I guess back to my original point, at what point can you call a corporation's practices greedy and predatory without somebody being like, well, I mean, it's America, it's capitalism, and it's their job to make all of the money in the world, and the profits have to get more every year, the profits have to go up, line must go up, or they will take someone out back and shoot them. That's how capitalism works. Don't you understand? It's like, yeah, I do actually understand. That's exactly how capitalism works. It's bad. if you say enough as a consumer, they will pull back. They will stop. This is how it works. So like, if you're one of these econ dudes and you see a consumer out there complaining about the prices, don't tell them to stop. This is exactly how market forces work. Is like, people have to tell them to stop. That's literally market forces. Again, make it to econ 2. There's such a thing as good and bad will generated by a company. And at this point, I think Wizards is producing enough bad will that it's gonna eventually affect their bottom line. But they know that, hey, you know what we do to make money? We print cards on paper. It doesn't matter what we do. We can piss as many people off as we want. We print cards on paper. And then we can start selling cards, not through local game stores. We can have people order cards, so we'll call them secret layers. We can have people order cards directly through us. We'll sell singles to the people. It turns out we can just print money. Hey, Hasbro came in and they're like, hey, Wizards, you guys know you could just be printing money? You could literally, you're printing money. You're printing words and images onto cardboard, onto paper, and people give you how much? You know what I'm saying? And Hasbro comes in and they're like, people actually give you more. Wizards is like, well, yeah, last time we did collector's edition, we charged like $50, And Hasbro's like, actually, did you know you can charge $1,000? And people, I always direct my ire at Wizards when I really should be directing it at Hasbro. But like, again, at what point can you call them out for just printing money? And like, again, you should call them out because those are market forces. The more the consumer yells about it, the more likely the people that make the product are to, stop. Because people make it clear they're not going to spend their money there. But they know that they're effectively, what are we going to stop smoking crack? You know what I mean? We're all addicts, you know what I mean? Oh man, I'm going overboard now. But that's true. That's the relationship. I wish market forces worked, but Wizards knows. Wizards knows a couple of things, like people can take to the streets and fuss and fight. They can lose half their consumer base. They can lose 20% of their consumer base overnight, and they will still be kept afloat by the whales. They can still put out 100 secret layers every single year, and they'll make their money that way. They can put out products like Magic 30th edition, and they'll just make their money that way. Who cares if the casual plays it? I don't care. It doesn't matter if anybody actually plays this game. We just care if people buy the cards. We're here for people to buy the cards. What's in it for us if people play the game? Who cares? We just buy the cards. You'll buy anything. People playing on Arena, people playing Commander. That's all that matters. We don't care if people play the actual competitive formats we have set up for people to play. And we really don't care if people play them in paper. Modern? What's that? It sucks, dude. It's a 1-2 punch of like the most predatory WOTC has ever been. And it grows, dude. It grows exponentially every year, dude. Like, they've never been this bad. Not even close to this bad in terms of predatory practices. But also, combined with that, they don't care at all. I was going to say something I was going to go off, curse hard, but let me just say they do not care, and it couldn't be more obvious, about paper organized play, and that's really sad that both of those things happened at the same time. Like, what a 1-2 punch, dude. Like, we're just going to start printing money, and we're going to make you buy it. We're not going to make you buy it. We're going to say we're not making you buy it, but we're going to print so much product at such a ridiculously high rate that you're going to feel really messed up for not buying it. You're going to feel like you're missing something if you don't buy it. We know what we're doing. They have engineered this, guys. This is, I promise you, every bit of this is on purpose. Everyone complains about the rate at which they release products. There's a reason for the rate they release products. I promise you. I can't even. Here's another reason that I'm scared to make this video, guys, is I can't keep my thoughts straight. Like, I start in on one thing and I end up on another thing, and I've said 5 other things in the middle between. I just can't keep my thoughts straight. I just want to yell and scream and rant for like an hour. But what I really want to do is refine it into an actual YouTube video with like multiple camera angles and bits. Do like a real thing with it, but every time I try to start writing it, I get so like this. You make what money you can on your small fries, your estimated 20 million small fries, and you take your 10,000 whales and you get all of the money from them. They just buy all the products. Going back to Dominaria is great. Brothers War after 30 years, like, yeah, there's products I'm stoked for. There are products I'm stoked for, but eventually you have to realize as a company that products aren't the only thing you can stoke people up on. You know what I'm saying? There's like, you can do events, you can do tournaments, you can support multiple formats and actually care. There's 100 different ancillary ways that Wizards of the Coast will tell you they've tried. They'll tell you they tried, but they set everything up to fail. They set up the MPL to fail. Wizards will tell you, we tried to support the MPL. We tried to support esports. We put a lot of money into esports, and that didn't work. We tried to support events, and that didn't work. We tried to support standard, and that hasn't worked. They will tell you. I promise you. Some executive from Wizards of the Coast sitting here watching this right now is like, we tried all that, stupid. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You attempted. Well, I don't even want to use that word, because I don't want to use the word tried. I don't think you tried very hard on any of that. Any of that. You did the MPL for a year. You didn't support it at all. You didn't advertise it at all. You haven't advertised like at all in forever. I don't know what you're doing, but you don't advertise things. You don't advertise the MPL. You don't prop it up. You don't support it. You don't give them any tournaments to play in. And then suddenly it's their fault. It's, oh, MPL didn't work out. I guess esports don't work. And then suddenly it turns out Hearthstone is one of the biggest esports communities in the world. But somehow, I guess esports just don't work with card games. You know, you have to support it. You have to actually time and effort and money into it. Seriously, isn't a month over month, quarter over quarter, year over year, mandatory improvement? Isn't it? It's obviously unsustainable. How long can you sustain that? Realistically, it's like, I know you're a businessman, but at all costs, at any cost, let's look something up together. If we look up business with highest profit margin. So, there's tobacco. It used to be that tobacco was number one. That was really going to help me make this point. And it still helps me make this point that's in the top 10. So, trust estates, tax preparation, that's always been in the top 3. Maids, nannies, and gardeners, that is new. I have never seen that on this list before. Never before in my life. Land leasing, banking, yes. Stock commodity, yes. So, all the stuff that you would expect to have extremely high profit margins. All right? I happen to know that cigarette and tobacco manufacturing is about a 42% profit margin, which is one of the highest profit margins, again, for any industry, not a single business entity, but any industry in the country. So it hovers around 40% plus. Wizards of the Coast has a similar profit margin to the tobacco industry. Think about that. The single most predatory business in very likely the history of the country. Seriously. Wizards of the Coast has a very similar, close to 40%. Some years it's 35%, but anywhere between 35 and 40% profit margin. And keep in mind, not only, I make the point with cigarettes and tobacco because that's the one people are most likely to think is evil. But also because cigarettes and tobacco, that industry has a famously extremely high profit margin of a little less than, basically 50%. It hovers around 40%. And Wizards of the Coast is on that level of predation. When is enough? I will say, at the very least, what I am advocating for is what I was advocating for earlier. Just get on your soapboxes, you think, because I think a lot of people don't want you to think that it works, but, people just have this idea that, complaining on the internet doesn't work, but it super hella does. So, don't listen to people who are like, oh, they're just a business, don't complain. Dude, if you have a complaint, say the thing. Dude, say the thing. Darth, this is a perfect point. Didn't people get mad about Sonic the Hedgehog and they redesigned it in a few months? Yes. Now, they probably put a lot of people through a lot of crunch to do that, and we can talk about that. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic. It sounds so dumb. It sounds like such a 2022 thing to say, but any point that involves, do you remember that Sonic the Hedgehog movie? It seems like it would just fall flat, be a dumb point. But it actually is, that's a great point. Sonic is probably the best example of that happening in the last few years, but it happens. People complain, companies change. It totally does happen. Don't let people try to convince you that it doesn't, because it totally does. But anyway, yeah, I've riled you all up. I'm going to try to drop you on someone who is not prepared for your revolutionary spirit.